And we're live again. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome again to For Feck's Sake Marketing Adventures with Carmel. That's Sarah. I always sing the intro. So today we're going to be, if you've been following us for the last few days, we've kind of gone into how to create your PDF, then how to, what was the second one we did? My brain's just frozen.
How to create the opt-in page.
How to create the opt-in page. And today we're going to show you the CRM, Client Relationship Management System, of how to make sure that people are going to automatically get it into their email. Now, this does rely on you having a website or at least a CRM. Now, different CRMs are different. They all have similar functionality. So the one that I use is Drip. That's the preferred one. That's the one we're going to be showing you the example today. But we do know enough about some others that we can still help you with that if it's not quite the same button. So my one looks lovely in pink, actually. Drip looks lovely in pink. But we're going to share that with you today. We're going to show you how to set up a tag. Tags are just literally so your system knows, hey, this person has come in, where have they come from, and how will the system recognize them in order to send them the right email? Instead of everyone coming in on a big list, on your Excel list, say, and you go, oh, just send them all an email and hope to God that it's the right spot. That's what we call spray and pray marketing. And, you know, it might hit a few spots, but it doesn't work effectively on the long term. Then we're going to show you how to set up a campaign. So it will trigger it to set up. Here you go, send them a campaign. So a campaign is a series of emails that it will send. So you can, you know, do them 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and space them out, whatever it is for the campaign that you decide. And then we're going to show you how to attach a link in there. So we'll find where your little PDF is living, or videos, or whatever you're doing, and how to actually add it into that email. So it'll go boom, straight into their inbox. And then we're going to show you the little thing in the background of a CRM that is called a workflow. So we need to tell the system. So computers and automation is brilliant, but just remember, you need to tell it what you needed to do. So the first thing is they click on a link, give it a tag. Second thing is, well, when they have that tag, what are we going to do with it? Well, you're going to send them an email. So let's set up the email. Then you need to go to the workflow and go, the minute they get that tag, do this. And you can put lots and lots of steps and lots of other stuff. I'll briefly show it to you, but this is just a simple step-by-step process to automate your first lead magnet. I won't say PDF if it's not a PDF. It could be a video, it could be a series of videos. I don't know what that is for you. That's what we'd have to look at. Then the amazing Sarah is going to jump in and just show you with that opt-in page that we made yesterday, how that one little piece of a copy and paste almost can connect with that to say from where you put in your details, that's what connects it all together, that last little piece. So that's what we're going to cover today. So hang with us and let's see how we go. So I'm going to share my screen first today. So I'm not going to go into every minute detail of a brand new system and all this. This is the system. That's for a whole other session. So tags is where I'm going, and I've already, here's one I prepared earlier. So I've made a tag. So this is telling me it's come from my website and it's the 5 tech components. So really don't make too many tags, but make sure the tags that you do make are ones that will make a difference or that you recognize what they are. So you don't want to make it all fluffy and a big long name and all different stuff like that, because it just gets a little bit awkward. So that's the first thing you need to do. So the reason you need to do it in this order is if you haven't got the tag right, then it can't talk to the right person and all of this. So tag is number 1. So then we go into a campaign. So up here we have the options of workflow, campaign, rules. We have broadcasts over here. I won't go into it too much, but the difference, and it was the thing I didn't know what the difference was between a broadcast and a campaign. A broadcast is like for a newsletter, for example, that you have a newsletter, goes out once a month, it's topical, it's done at the moment, so you just want to send it out once to a group of people. Whereas a campaign is something that is a series of emails that's going to be always there. It gets triggered and they go into this campaign. You can have several campaigns, but we won't overcomplicate it for today. So you go into campaigns, which I've already clicked here, and this is the campaign. You'll notice that it's the same name as the tag, which makes it really easy. So when you do start a new campaign, you follow the bouncing ball. It'll first come up on your dashboard. It'll ask you who do you want it to send it to. And this is the part where you say, I want to send it to people with this tag. Opt-in forms, that's a whole other thing, and emails. So this is the first email we've set up, which is here. Now, we've just done it briefly. This is a little bit of code that's quite easy to do. So it will say, hey, Carmel, your PDF is here. So that's what you want to say. And it has their name here. You'll see here we have a button. So we want to make it really easy for them to download the PDF. Ta-da! Now you'll see over here on the left, you can put a link in. So we just need to put the link in. So as soon as they click on that box, they're actually going to get the PDF. We talked yesterday about our Amazon S3 is where we keep our, we store our documents. So we've put it all up here. Again, I'm not going to show you exactly how to do all that because it would take too long. But this is the link. It's as simple as that. And it's just copy and paste. There's our link in there. Now that link is in that email, ready to go. You can change color, you can do lots of stuff here. So that's the first part of it. So now we've got the campaign ready, we've got the tag, we've got the campaign, we've put the link in, I've showed you that. The last thing we need to do on this side is we need to do a workflow. So a workflow again is telling it when this person clicks, all this stuff magically happens, by the way, in a few seconds. So when somebody clicks that and it goes over there to there, and then it says, okay, what do we do with this tag? We give them a tag. Now what do we do with it? That's what the workflow is. So we're going into workflow. And again, here's one I have set up earlier. So this is the workflow and this is how it works. So it's like, what do we need to do? So as soon as somebody comes through that opt-in page, we're going to apply a tag that says this. Then we're going to do what? We're going to send it the campaign that we've just shown you. And it's as easy as going like that. What do you want it to do? I want it to do an action. There's, as you can see, lots of other options here. I want it to do an action. What do you want Drip to do? Oh, I wanted to apply a tag, or I want to delete. You can see all of these. Or I want, they're alphabetical, by the way. I want to send a campaign. Which campaign do you want to send? And you tell it the one you want to send. Now, the campaign at the moment is not active. As we told you, we're building this live. It won't be active until Friday. So then you can all have it if you would like the actual PDF. So update the action, which is like so. So now you can see I've doubled it up. So I'm just going to remove one of those. There are so many different things you can do with that, but that is really simple and easy. As soon as they go through that campaign and they've had, if we set up 5 or 6 emails or whatever it is, you can tell it that you want them to have a different tag instead, or you can tell them that you want a split test or everything. But that's the simplest, easiest way that I can explain how to do that. Now, I trust that if you have any questions or anything that you'll put them into the chat box. We can't see them live in this moment, but we certainly will get back to them. They're the easy steps. Now, there's one other little connection, which Sarah's going to go through in a minute, and it's called an API connection. I'll just stop sharing for a moment. With the API connection, that's just a little tiny bit of code. Like it's tiny compared to all the code and the different things that Sarah's going to show you now, how you add that to your opt-in page and how it all connects together and it just flows. Over to you, Sarah.
Love it. That was a great run through of using Drip. Fantastic. So let me just share my screen. Let's do this. So I'm just going to pop a few boxes out of the way while we're over here. Actually, I might go that side today. So we're back on the opt-in page, which we were working on yesterday. And we ended up with it more or less complete. We had our copy in and we had the lead form in, the lead box in. So before we go any further, I'm going to take you quickly back to the dashboard or the back end of the WordPress website. And as I mentioned yesterday, we use Thrive as our theme and as our page builder. And so part of Thrive is that we have the Thrive dashboard. So I'm just going to click through to that, and I'm going to show you how you use an API connection to ensure that your website is talking to your CRM. So this is, again, one of those key parts of the automation, because if they're not talking, your people's email addresses are going nowhere and they're never going to get the PDF. So the main thing is that we come into here, and it's as simple as finding the box that says API connections and just click on manage connections. Yours would look a little different depending on how many API connections you've got to your website, but it's as simple as clicking add a new connection, selecting what you want to connect in. So as Carmel mentioned, there are many different CRMs that you can choose for your email marketing. And Drip is one of them, but there's a whole list of them there. So you can choose whichever one you want. In that instance, I'm not sure if it's going to let me do it because we've actually
Drip is already in there. Yeah.
But you would look for Drip, and you can see we set it up here like that. Now, when you go through the process, it's just going to prompt you for some certain information that you're going to find in your Drip settings. Now, we can't show you that because that's private keys and codes and secret things. But the main thing to know is that it's literally a copy and paste a code, like a string of numbers into this, hit OK, and now it'll say, yep, you're all connected, and it'll show up like this. And you never have to do that again. It's a one-off. For as long as you're using that CRM and you want it talking to this website, it's going to talk to it until you come in here and delete it, essentially. That means any opt-in page you create in the future is already going to have the potential to talk to Drip. And when we pop over to our opt-in page now, I'm going to show you what that even means. So over on the right, we click on the lead form, which is this area over here. It's now highlighted green. Over on the left, it says you are editing the lead generation content. Perfect, we're in the right spot. And we come down here. So already it's highlighted as an API connection. Perfect, because we know we've connected our CRM by API, not HTML code, no code, just API. So we just want to add the connection, choose the connection, and can you see how that already is talking to whatever has been API connected in the back end? So Drip's already sitting there. I just click Drip. Then it's going to say, choose what should happen in Drip when this form is submitted. We wanted to add it to our campaign, which there's two options there. I only ever use add to campaign because that's how we set it up in the Drip side of things. Choose the campaign. It's actually already selected the most recent, the newest campaign we've created. But if you look at here, there's a list of different campaigns that Carmel's created in the back end of Drip. If you can't see your campaign there, there's a sneaky little refresh button, and you can just click that. And that might just help a bit of propagation between the two across the old internet to make sure they're talking, but we've got the correct one there. Now, it's very important to put the tag in correctly. Now, I know from Carmel that we always keep our tags and campaigns, oops, I'm going to not write that, the same. So, literally typing in.
And we keep them all the same because of this, because we know that it really speeds up this process.
Where'd that go? I want to copy that, but I don't think it's going to let me. I should have pressed the button quicker. 5, tick.
No space, is it?
No space. Oh, every time I click, it clicks off. So normally I would like be on Drip and just copying and paste rather than typing it all in. So this is the Flintstones are typing it in. And before we click anything else, click the little plus button. Yes.
Yay!
So once it drops down into this gray box, it's actually connected now. Okay. And if you get the wrong one or whatever, you can always delete it with the little X. Everything else I keep the same down here. Choose the opt-in type. We use single opt-in. If you're using double opt-in, you can change it there. And it's literally hit apply. And look, API successfully added. So we now know, and it even tells us over here, that we have Drip now talking to this page. So when someone comes in, pops their name in, pops their email address in, says, yes, send it to me, we are now going to get a lovely email from Drip with the link to our PDF sent directly to their inbox.
Yeah.
So
One question that I know has come up, and it was a thing for me, is if you don't know where your API is in Drip or whatever, what's the easiest way to find out where that would be, Sarah?
well, Drip actually has a really good support chat system.
Yeah.
So if you ever get stuck with Drip or even Thrive, which is partly why we use and recommend the tech that we recommend in this PDF, because they've all got good online support. So if you ever get stuck, you can do that. The other option, of course, is probably do a Google search if you can't find the exact button.
It's usually somewhere in the settings.
It's in your settings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to find. I found it, guys. It was pretty easy to find.
I think sometimes we get a bit scared to click buttons when we're dealing with tech. And I know I was super scared of tech when I started. Like, I'm like 5 years ago, if you told me I was be doing what I'm doing, I'd be like, no. Like, I was a bookworm. I hated computers. Like, but I've learned that it's okay to click and explore. And once you sort of learn a few softwares and different programs, you start to realize there's a bit of a pattern and logic to things. So if you're looking for private details, it's usually in your settings somewhere, you know, so you start. Cool. Now there's just another little step to this before we move on. If you ever wanted to change what the form fields are, so the name and email address, if you wanted to write that differently, you can come in here and edit it. The last thing we want to do is say, okay, once someone's hit that button, what do we want to happen next? So there's two options. One is that we can redirect them to another web page. And this might then start looking at your sales funnel, like what's the next step? Could be like a one-time offer, a $7, $27, $97 product potentially. But usually we just send them to a thank you page, which will maybe give them some instructions of like, make sure you go to your email, check your spam, make sure you whitelist us, that sort of thing. And then you might even have another bonus that they find on that page. So it's just over on the left here, there's you can redirect to a custom URL, which would be your thank you page. Or sometimes if we just want to go fast and I haven't even had a chance to build out a thank you page yet, I do show success notification, hit apply. And that just means that once they click the button to send it to me, there'll be a green message that pops up and just says success, go check your inbox. Simple as that. But when we're talking sales funnels and actually getting this working for us, you're more or less going to have a thank you page, which would be redirect to that. And then you can type the URL that it is in here. And there we go. We've now automated our opt-in page.
Ta-da!
So, Carmel.
And we are going to, I'll just stop that share for a second. We are going to, as I said, by Friday, release this. So if you do want it, you can have it. But we haven't quite finished the email yet.
Do a little tidy up.
So listen, guys, we are loving this and we are back tomorrow with some more sneak peek of some stuff for you. But next week, we're going to be talking about video and different tips and tricks on video and how you can do them. Exactly the same kind of format as we've done this week. We're going to be on a call a few times in the week and we're going to show you. So if you want to be tagged in that, or you know somebody else that needs to be tagged in it because, you know, it's valuable stuff, make sure that you tag us in the comments. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, or you have any questions about any of the video stuff that you really want to know that you know is going to come up, please put the questions in, because then when we're on, we'll answer those frequently asked questions. We'll make sure that we cover off whatever you ask us. Obviously, there'll be sometimes we can't go as in-depth as we want to be if it's a big, huge question, but we'll certainly touch on it and we'll redirect you to wherever we think that you'll find that best information for you. So we trust that you have had fun so far. Let us know if you've had a try of it, if you've got stuck somewhere or anything like that. And yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube as well and here, so you can slow us down, stop, start, and go, what did they say there? And make that work for you. But for now, guys, make sure, put the comments in, tag me or your question, and join us again tomorrow and then next week for video as well. So for now, guys, it's bye from me.
Bye.